White House launches Religious Liberty Commission. What you need to know. The White House just announced a major new initiative, the Religious Liberty Commission. But what does this mean for you? President Biden signed the executive order today, calling it a historic step for freedom of belief. The commission aims to protect religious freedoms across all faiths and prevent discrimination. Critics argue this could blur the line between church and state. Supporters say it's long overdue. The 15-member panel will include leaders from various religions, legal experts, and civil rights advocates. One key: focus protecting places of worship from hate crimes and vandalism. The commission will also review existing laws and recommend new protections where needed. First major test, addressing recent controversies over religious accommodations in workplaces. Some states are already pushing back, claiming federal overreach on religious matters. Legal experts predict this could lead to landmark Supreme Court cases in coming years. The Commission's first report is due in 6 months. We'll be watching closely. What do you think about this new commission? Share your thoughts in the comments below! South Carolina manhunt. Armed suspect hits 2 kids and 1 adult before fleeing. A terrifying incident unfolded in South Carolina as an armed suspect struck 2 children and an adult with a vehicle before fleeing. The suspect remains at large, prompting a massive manhunt across the state. Authorities describe the suspect as armed and extremely dangerous. The victims, including 2 young children, were rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. Witnesses describe a chaotic scene as the suspect fled the area. Police have released a description of the suspect's vehicle to help the public identify it. Residents are being urged to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity. This developing story has left the community on edge as the search continues. We'll bring you updates as this dangerous situation unfolds. May Day protests erupt. Nationwide workers unite against war on working people. May Day 2025 saw massive protests across the U.S. as workers rallied against what they call the war on working people. From New York to Los Angeles, thousands took to the streets, demanding fair wages and better working conditions. Organizers say this year's turnout was record-breaking, with over 200 demonstrations planned nationwide. The protests come amid rising inflation and what many workers describe as increasingly difficult economic conditions. Union leaders spoke passionately about the need for stronger worker protections and collective bargaining rights. Many protesters highlighted specific issues like healthcare access, student debt, and the rising cost of housing. The demonstrations remained largely peaceful, though some cities saw minor clashes with police. Political analysts say these protests could influence upcoming elections as worker issues take center stage. Protesters vowed to keep pressure on lawmakers until their demands for economic justice are met. As night fell, candlelight vigils were held to honor workers who've suffered under current economic policies. The May Day movement shows no signs of slowing down. Will this be a turning point for workers' rights? Trump fires Mike Waltz. Shocking national security shakeup explained. Breaking news: Donald Trump has ousted Mike Waltz as his national security advisor. This unexpected move has sent shockwaves through Washington. Mike Waltz, a key figure in Trump's administration, was abruptly removed from his position. But why? Let's dive into the details. Sources say tensions had been building for months. Waltz reportedly clashed with Trump over several high-stakes security decisions. This isn't the first time Trump has made sudden personnel changes. Remember when he fired James Mattis? History might be repeating itself. Political analysts are speculating about the real reasons behind Waltz's dismissal. Some suggest policy disagreements, others point to personal dynamics. The timing is particularly interesting. This comes just as critical national security negotiations were reaching a crucial phase. Who might replace Waltz? Insiders are floating several names, but Trump is known for his unpredictable choices. This shakeup could have major implications for U.S. foreign policy. Allies and adversaries alike are watching closely. Meanwhile, Waltz's supporters are expressing outrage. Many saw him as a stabilizing force in the administration. Trump's team insists this was a necessary change. They claim it will lead to a more effective national security strategy. But critics warn this could create dangerous instability. With global tensions rising, consistency matters more than ever. What does this mean for the 2026 midterms? Some see this as Trump tightening control ahead of crucial elections. One thing's certain in Trump's Washington: no job is safe. Who might be next on the chopping block? Stay tuned as this story develops. We'll bring you updates as more information emerges about this dramatic power shift. Judge rules. Trump's Venezuela deportation plan unlawful. What happens next? A federal judge just struck down Trump's controversial plan to use wartime powers for mass deportations to Venezuela. Let's break it down. Trump had invoked the Insurrection Act, claiming it gave him authority to deport Venezuelan migrants en masse. But the judge ruled this was a clear overreach. The law doesn't apply to immigration enforcement. This marks another major legal setback for Trump's hardline immigration policies. Venezuelan advocacy groups are celebrating the decision as a victory for migrant rights. Legal experts say this ruling could block similar deportation efforts, targeting other nationalities. The White House has 30 days to appeal. Will they challenge this decision? Meanwhile, thousands of Venezuelan migrants remain in legal limbo across the U.S. This case highlights ongoing tensions between presidential power and judicial oversight. What do you think about this ruling? Let us know in the comments below. Ousts, Ukraine minerals deal. What's inside the game? Changing agreement. The U.S. and Ukraine just signed a major minerals deal. But what does it actually mean? Let's break it down. This deal focuses on critical minerals, key for tech, defense, and green energy. Ukraine is rich in these resources. The U.S. gains secure access to these minerals, reducing reliance on China. A big win for supply chains. Ukraine gets investment and tech support to modernize its mining sector. A boost for its war-torn economy. The deal includes joint research projects. Both countries will work on sustainable extraction methods. Critics worry about environmental risks, but the agreement promises strict regulations to protect Ukraine's land. This isn't just about economics. It strengthens U.S.-Ukraine ties amid ongoing tensions with Russia. Experts say this deal could reshape global mineral markets. China is watching closely. For Ukraine, it's a step toward post-war recovery. For the U.S., it's a strategic move in the tech race. The details are still emerging, but one thing's clear: this deal is a big deal. Stay tuned for updates.